Hello, Dungeoneers, and welcome to Between the Rows, Sins of the Father. Yeah, this is the third season of Between the Rows.
3 years, baby.
We're gonna have some things that connect to previous seasons, maybe, so you can watch this alone. But if you haven't seen the first couple of seasons, you'll miss some cool little details. So fair warning. We don't have a whole lot to go over. Remember, we do have a main campaign on Mondays, 7 p.m. CST. Show up for those. They're awesome because
on Twitch, by the way, if you're new.
Nice
to see you. Nice to meet you.
Hello. The season finale. We will have 6 episodes of this season. The season finale will be on Halloween on that Monday. So although the rest of them will stream on a Wednesday, we're taking over the main channel for that Monday stream.
We're taking over the business.
Yeah, we're taking it back, baby. So be there for the Monday streams, be there for the Wednesday streams. This will go weekly and it'll be super awesome and great and nothing will ever go wrong ever.
Calling it now.
That's how it works.
Technical problems don't happen at the paper dungeon. That's not what we do here.
We wean those out in the womb.
We grab dubs and that's all. And this is what we're going to do. We are going to roll that intro.
Nice.
Welcome, foolish vagabond, to the tale's final breath, to the tiny town of stories past, the resting place of death. An oath, a promise, a covenant, cradled in nature's grasp, coveted by broken pale, the relic of the past. Now the stage is set, the players in place, to begin the circle's close, but none expect and all regret what lies between the rows.
Welcome to Rock Creek. We're back. A little town just to the northeastern side of Nebraska, bordering the Elkhorn River. Rock Creek, it's been a while since these players here have been there.
Smell the manure.
Oh yeah. Let me tell you, things have changed slightly. Some things have changed greatly. A lot of it has stayed the same. Rock Creek has developed in over the years. The last time we were here, it was 2007. We are now going to jump forward to the year somewhere around 2033 in the future for even this time. Let's see. We can just go straight to the characters. I don't need to tell too much about how the town has grown or changed. It is no longer quite a small town. It's now a medium small town.
Oh,
they're very proud of that fact. Some would even call it a small city. They have a chain restaurant.
Yeah, that's
oh my gosh. Which chain is it? Who do you want to sponsor us?
It's a Raising Cane's.
It's a Subway. It probably
it's a Raising Cane's. You know it's a Raising
There's
Cane's.
a Subway everywhere in Nebraska.
Yeah,
every
Subway doesn't count.
Subway
is like the
you definitely count, and we wouldn't
Midwest.
accept a sponsorship. Just so you know.
They scored a Cane's.
Yeah. Wow. Shout out to Subway.
Gosh.
What about a Runza? They got a Runza.
Of course they do. It's a Nebraska special. But yeah, we are just going to go straight to the characters. Which character exactly? We're going to find out with a roll of the die.
We're starting off with a roll.
Just because we looked this up beforehand, I just looked it up. It definitely is actually the Missouri River, not the Elkhorn.
Well, in that case, we border the Missouri River. Or the Elkhorn.
Close
it's
enough
hard
to the Elkhorn.
We border
There's a river.
kind of where they connect.
It's a creek.
Okay.
Nobody knows where the creek comes from.
Hard
It's just
to
Rock
know.
Creek.
There is a creek, that is for sure. We are going to go to a very familiar house.
Oh, no.
Kind of toward the lower, not bad end of town, but the lower income part of town. Still one of the main connecting streets to a little kind of combo house, part mechanic garage, part living abode. It's literally the house number has a half next to it, and that's where we are going to go to the Jones establishment. CJ, you wake up, surrounded by a pile of machinery. You are actually woken up. You never have an alarm. You often just wake up naturally, and if you don't wake up naturally, as you did today, you wake up to the sound of your dad working in the garage, banging away whatever project he has going on right now. You're not sure if it's for his actual job as a mechanic, or if it's something for the society. But you are woken up. Could you please describe your character, who exactly CJ is, and kind of what's your room look like? Like, what's going on in there?
So CJ is around 6 feet tall, kind of somewhat tan skin with kind of short, almost black hair with hazel eyes. Probably just fell asleep in like the clothes he was wearing yesterday. It's just like a dark pair of jeans and kind of like a gray like shirt that with like that he has like the sleeves rolled up. His room is an organized mess. Definitely tools and like partially finished like tinkered projects everywhere, especially around his actual like kind of work desk. Kind of in the corner where he has tons of different like blueprints and partially put together designs for all sorts of different things, for like tools, like a couple like almost like toy kind of things, or like other kind of there's probably like a half put together clock over there too.
Oh yeah. You were making it for one of your dad's birthdays. It was a while ago.
Yeah.
When that occurred, and you still haven't gotten it.
I haven't quite gotten around to it. It's there's one of the gears that I had to custom build broke, and I just haven't gotten around to fixing it.
Yeah, like I could just glue it, but
yeah,
that's not gonna hold, and you wouldn't like that. So yeah, you get up, you do whatever your morning ritual is. Not like really, you're like, these clothes, yeah, I'm sure they'll be fine another day. You're on your hands through your hair real quick to make sure that it's not like tangled or grosser than it needs to be. Eventually the banging coming from the garage kind of stops. Your dad, Eugene, aka Crowbar Jones, you know how the meme is like the dads always know when you touch the thermostat? First of all, your dad did enchant the thermostat, so he knows if you touch it. But he also just kind of instinctively knows, like, oh shoot, CJ's up. And so he kind of heads to your room. Crowbar, as he prefers to be called, he gets real miffed when the locals call him Eugene. He's like, he walks up to the door. Your dad, obviously, Crowbar has grown since the last time we saw him. Not by much. He's still shorter, still on the shorter end. One of the most defining traits about Crowbar is he has horribly dark circles under his eyes. You know that your dad does not sleep well. Just tormented dreams that he has informed you that you will probably start to have, and in fact recently you have been getting more of them. Dreams of fire, of brimstone, dreams that sometimes even may follow you into your waking life. But he is standing there. You notice that even while he is standing there, like a little edge of a doily that's sitting underneath a potted plant does catch fire, and he just immediately swats it out with like an oil rag that he has on his hand. He kind of cleans his hand off and he goes, hey CJ, got a call from Grant today. He said that you and the gang need to meet up at the mall for something. He found he's something's going on up there. I don't know about it, but you should probably head over there.
Oh, all right.
Quick
Sure.
as you can.
Yeah, I'll make my way there after I grab some breakfast.
Yeah. Most important meal of the day.
Are you okay, Dad?
Oh yeah, no, I'm just gonna. I've got work to do. And then he just kind of bustles off back to the garage where he spends most of his time. He says,
"Just let me know if you need any help."
Yeah, just call me if you need something for the gig, something special. I can whip something up for you.
Okay.
All
right.
Yeah, you. I'm assuming that you.
I'll
make your way.
Yeah, I'll grab a bag, throw my my usual gear and stuff that I use, and I'll actually just like on the way out, I'll just grab like a Powerade and like a granola bar and just keep walking forward.
Your dad does pop his head out and say, "Oh, I remember that you mentioned that the Camaro was pulling a bit."
Yeah.
Don't worry. It was the alignment was a little off. Your mission a couple weeks ago must have bumped it a little bad. I set it back in place. So.
Look at that.
Right. Well, I mean, it was a pretty rough road up that mountain. So.
Yeah. Well, stay safe.
Where were we?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we're ballers.
Yeah. Have you had any of the dreams lately?
I mean, no, I slept fine last night.
Good. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll see you later. See you sometime.
Right.
He kind of fidgets with a like his tool belt.
Fidget spinners. Yes, that's still a thing in 2033.
It's just
he doesn't have a fidget spinner. He never approved of those.
Mm-hmm.
He does have like one of the like ratchet screwdrivers.
Yeah.
He has it all the time, and he just spins it around in a circle.
Yep.
I like
the original fidget spinner.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's like a hex wrench that he swings back and forth to kind of like
get CJ came
idea.
home one day with his finished spinner, and it would like literally within seconds it was taken away and destroyed.
Yeah,
you want fidget with something? Fidget with some gears.
Yeah. Here, take these.
He opens and closes
a
monkey wrench.
Oh yeah, yep. Spins the little gear.
Yeah.
Basically, any tool at hand is Crowbar's fidget spinner.
Yeah.
He's a Eugenie with the tools.
Oh, I will boot you from this call so fast. Just as a reminder, if you die, you're not in Between the Rows anymore. So.
I forgot about
point that out.
Oh, yeah. Never forget. I assume that people know by now, but if a character dies before the final episode, they don't come back with a new character. They're just out.
It's just gonzo.
Now, we haven't had that happen yet.
Yeah.
But it could happen.
If you die in the game, you die in real life, is what we're saying.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Notice how we're two people down.
I will.
I need to look at the contract real quick.
Okay.
There's some things that I missed to find in the small text.
Yeah, well,
moving on.
I asked you to sign it in blood for a reason, DJ.
Anyway, I go out to my car, and I start making my way to Clara's house.
Fantastic. Going to roll another die real quick here. Alrighty. Speaking of Clara's house, the camera will pan up from the duo house mechanic garage, kind of move over to the like true middle class, maybe upper middle class part of town. Longer roads that stretch, more main streets that stretch across instead of kind of the brick layout downtown. We're going to look at a little like ranch style house, one level, real long with a basement. You do have a fair bit of land, Clara, not like I'm incredibly wealthy land, but you have enough that you could have a horse if there was anyone to take care of it and your parents would let you. Like you even have a barn included on the land, but it's pretty much just been your space to do whatever with because your parents are like, we're not getting a horse. Speaking of your parents, you are of course working up with your alarm on the day. So it's the usual, to hear your, mom and dad, Jody and William, bustling around, getting ready for their day, absolute workaholics. You hear Jody call up and say, Clara, sweetie, Clara, are you awake?
Yeah, I'm up.
Okay, all right.
She like makes sure to poke her head out so her mom sees her awake.
Your mom is like getting like still throwing on kind of like a suit jacket of sorts, very professional, very businesslike. She kind of looks up the stairs at you and says, hey, just remember, me and your dad are going to go out. We have a couple funerals to run today. Turns out that the Wilsons, their grandma just died. So we're going to be dealing with that with pretty much the whole day, setting up all the times and the places and what needs of us. Make sure, don't forget to maintain the cemeteries today. I know that you've never missed a day, but just, keep track of it. I trust you, but yeah. And then you hear from farther down the hall, you hear your dad, Jody, we've got to go. They're waiting. Jody, we're going to be late. They're not going to be late. They're at least 15 minutes early, and they always will be.
It's okay, Mom. I got it. You can go.
Okay. All right. We love you. We love you.
Love you too.
Have a great day. All right.
Hey.
I don't know when we're going to be back tonight. It might be after you're asleep, but
that's okay.
we'll set something up. She's like walking away. She's like, we'll get together, you and for some girl time.
Okay.
And she's like shuffled out the door, and William says, "Bye, Clara. Have a good night, sweetie, or good day." I don't know what time it is. Just bustles out. He pops back in. He's like, "I forgot my coffee." He grabs it and just runs out the door. Can you describe yourself and like kind of your room and who is Clara Donnelly?
So Clara, she has a bit of a unique look to her. She is she stands at about 5'5", and she has a more paler complexion, but is like just covered in freckles. She has this like auburn hair, but the distinct features of her are she has one brown eye and one green eye. And then
I looked it up before.
and then
Nice.
Behind one of her ears is a blonde streak of hair. But yeah, she is pretty quiet and reserved. She is always wearing this like oversized like gray blue hoodie. And she also is always wearing peppermint perfume. But yeah, and then as far as like her room, it's messy. Not in the way that it's like
organized, like I know where everything is, but just like actually
it's like,
messy.
And not even like messy and like there's trash everywhere, just in there's stuff everywhere. Like
you don't got enough storage for the amount of stuff
like between art supplies, her walls are her walls are murals.
Too much stuff, not enough space.
And then she her most prized possession though is a small potted mint plant. That she keeps at her desk. But yeah, and so as far as like Clara in the town, her family owns the Donnelly Funeral Home, have for several generations, and she's kind of expected to take that up kind of deal. But yeah, she's also known around town to be one to steer away from. There's rumors that she is like possessed by the devil or evil incarnate, and so she tries to like
the normal things that teenagers say about people.
But yeah, so she hasn't got the best reputation around town, so she tends to try to keep to herself and stay out of the public eye.
Fantastic. Speaking of you being the incarnation of the devil, could you real quick just make a charisma saving throw for me?
Oh no. Already?
Oh yeah, just straight off the bat.
Okay.
You will have advantage.
Okay, I do have
we'll
advantage.
Tell you that right
now. Okay. That's a 16.
16. Okay, yeah, you will pass. You wake up, you're getting ready, and you start to feel deathly cold. Just incredibly cold, but there is a suddenly the smell of peppermint sharpens in the air, and you hear just a little voice that you know very well that just says, "Breathe deep. let it go. Take in that smell of peppermint. The chill passes, and you manage to resist this time. As you are kind of like blinking your eyes, because it does leave you with an incredible headache, you hear the phone, the landline, which who knew that people would still have landlines in 2033, right?
In the small town, everything's a little bit behind.
Oh, yeah. Well, your parents
Nebraska.
have to have one because the people who die the most are old people, and old people have the landlines. So,
statistically speaking, that is
they
true.
inherit the house, yeah.
Statistically speaking.
I think you're right.
And so, they're more comfortable around landlines. You hear the landline ringing. Do you go pick up the phone?
Yeah.
Excellent. You pick it up. You hear Grant. Grant, the leader of the society that you are a part of. He says, Clara?
Yeah.
Clara, yeah, could you... I honestly, this is
You're
how
doing so good. Go
this is
for
how
it.
he sounds now.
I love it.
Yeah, could you go to the mall today, just quick as you can? I've noticed there have been some skullduggery. That's right. He uses skullduggery now. He's old.
And he has an accent now.
He didn't
yeah.
have an accent
Absolutely.
before. This is
Look, you
awesome.
live in a small town long enough, things change.
Oh my god.
Yeah, if you could head to the mall, I'm sending the other there too. They should be there quick as a whip.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Don't worry. It shouldn't be anything too dangerous. Just something that all the fancy things that Crowbar cooks up, they're flying off the rails.
Oh,
So-
okay.
Yeah. I've got to go. I've got a meeting to get to.
Okay.
And I've got to call the other two real
Okay.
quick. So, well, actually, I already called Crowbar. Yeah, just head to the mall.
Okay.
Don't worry. I think CJ should be on the way with the car. I know you can't drive yet.
Okay.
And he just hangs up the phone, and you're like, oh.
Okay.
Huh. Sure enough, CJ, you roll up to the Donnelly household.
Mm-hmm.
Because we'll get to the whole interaction stuff in a bit. I'm gonna not have the whole like, hey CJ, how's it going? You headed to the mall too? And like, yup, just got a call from Grant.
It goes just like that. There you go.
Yeah, done. I've played your characters for you. 4 out of 10
Nice.
DMing.
Thanks, DM. This also is a medium town. They have a mall. Rock Creek has a mall.
Oh, let me
now.
tell you. I am not one to predict the future. I can't do that. But crazy thing that happens in the 2030s, malls make a comeback. All right? They are on the
They never
rise.
died.
Oh, they were real close. They're falling out right now. Malls are not very popular. They're making a comeback.
They pushed Black Friday to Wednesday instead of Thursday, and that made all the difference.
Oh yeah, absolute game changer. We are going to go now. Oh geez, we are going to go over to. Oh man, let's see. Who are you now? Oh good. We're going to zoom back over kind of to the center of town, to the well-kept neighborhood, but not incredibly wealthy neighborhood. It's a nice little quaint, quiet, almost a little bit, it's like centralized, but still like away from the hustle and bustle of this just thriving small town. And we are going to go down to the basement level into a little kind of warmly lit room.
Yes. That's me.
There's some incense burning. Sam, you are woken to the sound of your phone alarm, which is just tinkling bells.
Yeah.
Maybe a little gospel like sounds in the background. It's just real peaceful, real calm. You wake up. Please tell us, who are you and what's your room like? Like what's your situation at, man?
Hello, my name is Sam, and I live in a room. I like warm lighting. I wear a lot of knit sweaters. I have one little basement window, and I have a shelf full of plants on it. And so when I get up, I'll make sure all the plants are watered. I'll journal a bit at my little desk with my incense and a candle and all that stuff. I live with my dad, quote unquote, Devin. He took me in when I was young. I was found in somewhere. You'll probably figure it out at some
It'll
point.
happen.
Yeah. And yeah, I just had my first year at college. It wasn't all that I thought it would be, but that's okay. So we're back for the summer. Happy to be here. Today is a warm summer day, so I'll pick one of my lighter sweaters to wear and jeans. And my hair always looks nice. I wake up, my hair is still nice. So that's a thing.
Nice.
And it's
You're
awfully nice.
that guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Mhm.
You wake up every day on the right side of the bed, breathing a big nose full of fresh air. Speaking of this fresh air, you can smell pancakes, syrup, some bacon frying upstairs, some eggs. Devin's a great cook. And yeah, you know that he knows when your alarm is, but he always is like, hey, it's his job to wake up on time. I don't need to yell down and stuff. If he wants to come up and eat food, I know he does. I'll have a plate set for him. So would you like to join your father for breakfast?
Yeah, I will, put on my clothes, do all this stuff, make my bed even. How about that?
Oh, yeah.
And I'll put on my shoes. I was wearing socks even in bed because I don't like the feeling of not having socks on. No, just because I don't like the feeling of not having socks on, strangely. And I put my shoes on, I go upstairs, and I walk into the kitchen. I'm assuming Devin's there.
Oh, yeah, he's, you see Devin, once again, another person that we've seen before.
Yeah.
Devin's changed a lot. He probably could choose to live in a higher class neighborhood, but he's very thrifty, and he's like, if I don't need to live in some place that fancy, then I don't need to live there, and so I won't. I'll save that money. Get you. He's like paying for a lot of your college. He set up a good college fund for you. He is standing in front of the little stove that you have. He keeps it very neat and orderly. Wearing an apron that says "Kiss the Cook," and he has a little button on it that you gave him when you were like 10 that says "Number One Dad."
Yeah, I round the corner.
And he's frying up and he says,
wait,
hey there, bucko.
And then I say, hey, daddy-o.
You ready for breakfast this morning?
Bacon today?
Oh, well, it's vegan.
Oh, thank goodness. I love the smell, but it's always disappointing when it's not vegan. Do I.
Well, every single bite just reminds you, hey, something died to give us this, and that's
literally I can't get that out of my head
every time.
I'm
it's
glad
like
you get that.
I feel the squeaking of the bacon is the squealing of the pigs, and I just can't.
That's so gross. Please stop right now.
I'm
Please.
So sorry to bring it up. Don't worry, it's all vegan, all kosher. We're good. Have a seat. I just got a call a little bit ago. Grant was calling for me. My good friend Grant.
Oh, okay, good.
No, don't worry about that. Grant, good friend. Well, first of all, just so you know, I'll be out this afternoon. I've got a kind of a late brunch because it comes after lunch. So I suppose it isn't a brunch.
People say, but I'll say brunch in 2033.
Brunch never dies.
Brunch is all there is.
I love the fact that Aaron got serious for that.
Brunch never diss on brunch, dies. Grant.
Also, while we're at this beautiful little pause, I'm predicting it right now. Devin's definitely gonna die. Devin has two handed life.
Why would you say that now?
This is exactly what they do in anime, where it's like the best friend who just got engaged and his career's on the up and up again.
Oh my God.
He pulls out a picture and he's like, "This is my wife. She's giving birth in 2 months." And I'm just so excited.
Devin can die.
I'm listening to chill acoustic instrumentals and it's all happy.
By the way, this is a very important fact that I need to tell you. His the spatula that he's using to flip these pancakes is a lightsaber handle.
Oh yeah, that's
what I'm talking
about.
Devin's a really big Star Wars fan.
Devin is too cute to live.
He's willing to give the new movies, not our new movies. They came out with 3 more.
No.
He's willing to give them a chance. He thinks that they have a lot of potential.
And I promptly disagree. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. Gotta put in my earrings and stuff.
This afternoon, I'll be getting some late brunch with Grant. He called me to just reconfirm the dates and stuff. Also, he asked if you could head to the mall to meet up with your friends, CJ, Elliot, and Clara, the kind of group.
Did something happen again?
Oh yeah, well, he often asks for you to help with the community service. And so this
it has
just
to be
seems
at the
like
mall today. That
one of
seems
those
awfully
routine
public
ones.
for this.
I mean, it's probably some small thing like they have a leak or something. So,
okay.
If you need me, don't worry. Just remember, if I'm gone, call me twice, and I'll know if it's an emergency. If I don't pick up the first time, if you call the second time, I'll pick up. So.
Okay, we'll go into Her Burgers. I think that's what it's called, right? Nobody goes
Her
in there.
Burgers.
Oh my gosh, what a throwback.
Nobody goes in there, and it's like huge. So
Well, they'll be
probably just
meeting
go
up the
there.
food courts first.
Oh,
I hear
we gotta.
that they replaced the subway.
Wait, Subway died?
Oh yeah, no. Well, they you know how they combined all the subways into one subway, and they got rid of the Quiznos.
It was really awkward. Yeah,
they just recently brought back the
Fifth Street.
Quiznos, and it's in the spot of the subway. I just thought that was really interesting. I figured
it
that
was
I should...
a bad choice. Quiznos is like D tier.
Oh, I mean their lemonade's really good.
Dude, their breadsticks, you have to drink like 5 glasses of water after eating one of those.
Oh, well, water's good for you. He's like, well, don't take too long putting in your jewelry, because it'll get cold.
My jewelry will get cold.
Well, no, the food.
Got him.
Okay, that's a good one, kiddo.
I want everybody to know I just put a little heart next to the name Devin that I wrote into my notes because I love him.
Oh man, I love playing characters' dads. It's just a blast. But yeah, you go put in your jewelry. Do you head to the mall after that? Do you do anything else?
Yeah, I'll eat some vegan bacon, some pancakes.
Yeah.
And then I'll go to the mall. Sure.
Whole milk.
Yeah,
he's not that vegan.
I bike to the mall too. It's better.
He
for the
does have
environment.
almond milk as an option. I will state that.
Yeah, I like almond milk. I like to mix some honey with it.
Absolutely. So you bike to the mall. Last up, we go over to the nice part of town. But not like arrogant nice, but like we have wealth and we know it. We don't need to flaunt it. Nice part of town. To a 2-story house, beautifully painted siding, nice windows, big open windows, a little separate garage in the back. He had the choice of an attached garage, but he thought that would be a little pretentious, and he wanted, to keep it separate from the house, work, and where he lives.
Separated house and work.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we're going to go to the second floor, where originally there were multiple bedrooms, but someone may or may not have convinced their father. Yeah, Grant. Someone convinced Grant to knock out the surrounding walls, to really make an open concept upstairs for you to live in. Just one big room. We're going to go to Elliot. You're awoken by the sound of your fancy alarm clock that rolls off the bed and scoots around on the floor, so that way you have to get up out of bed to go turn it off. Tell me a little bit about yourself, Elliot. Who are you? What does your room look like? Kind of like, who are you to everyone?
So Elliot Keep is a 19-year-old kid. Definitely not wearing socks. Very important. He hates socks.
Absolutely.
The idea of wearing socks all the time drives him nuts. He gets up off of his bed that's on a slightly raised platform, and very quickly makes the bed. He has white sheets with a gray tweed comforter and pillow covers. Throws on some sweats and a little long sleeve shirt. His room is actually really big because it's actually 3 rooms that have been turned into 1 room. And so he has the entire 2nd floor is all 1 room now. It's to the point where he actually has like a cellar door over the staircase.
Oh, nice.
And that's his door to his room.
Grant hates it.
Grant hates it, especially because I definitely put in a really like heavy duty deadbolt.
Yeah.
So he definitely can't get in.
It's well, he probably could, but it would require him to break his own house.
Exactly.
So-
You know? There's a couple pillars where the structural beams need to be supported, but otherwise it's basically a completely open concept aside from the bathroom, which is off to the side in its own room. Its own. Okay.
Yeah, that's the only walls you didn't knock down.
Exactly. Right next to his bed, he has a couple of kind of like industrial pipe hangers where he hangs all his clothes and stuff like that on the one side. So he gets dressed. He moves across the room a little bit. On the far side of the room, he has a pretty big desk that actually has like a concrete vineyard top. It has a big, like one of those like 36-inch like curved monitors on the top of it. Really nice. He has really big speakers on the side for when he really wants to jam.
Is he a gamer?
No, not at all.
Okay.
That's all for Reddit.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
Reddit
my
still
gosh.
going strong in 2033. Let me tell you.
Behind
Reddit
the
and
desk-
Tumblr. Tumblr a little less, but Reddit's killing it.
True. Behind the desk, he has 4 large bookshelves that are filled to the brim with books, and then he has a bunch of books scattered around his desk as well. And when you go from the bed, which would be on, if you go up the stairs, the bed is on the far right side, the desk is on the far left side, and then he kind of has almost like his own kind of like living room. So he has this big, massive, kind of like hemp rug, like white, not hemp. What's the like boho weave, like knit?
Shoot.
A
I know what you
macrame?
mean.
Yes, macrame. Thank you. He has
You
like
know
a
that
big
Lydia would know the name of that rug.
macrame rug. Then he has a single like 3-person, really worn-in leather couch. Facing the wall, there's 2 windows on the back wall, and in between them, he has this really, really big painting. It's probably like a 7 foot by 7 foot square painting, and it's a painting of the thinking man, like the statue, and it's made with it was made out of, you know, when they take like oil paint and they leave a lot of texture in it too,
Mhm.
and so it's not like it's spread out. They like take like a
Bro, you know this room so well.
Yeah, I'm
He's like,
I'm
and just so you
amazed.
know, the
I guess he's
floors
a
are
DM.
sloped slightly at the corner.
Yeah. There's
that,
Elliot, but his
like,
room.
3 degrees.
and then on the let's see, let me look at the rest of this.
The stairs creak on the 2nd and 7th step,
Oh my God.
louder on the
Left.
2nd.
To the left of the window on the left side, he has like 6 or 7 floating shelves that are each probably about 6 feet long, and he has a collection of probably about 150 pairs of Doc Martens, Doc Marten boots. And-
150?
That's a lot.
You can never have too many
Bro.
pairs of Doc
That's
Martens.
Well, he definitely is a
300
collector. Like
individual
he doesn't wear any of them, and so they're definitely just collection items. And they're all, some of them are like limited editions. Some of them are like, you know, from like, I don't know, when was Doc Martens made? Whenever,
They're
way back
antiques.
ago. But he has this big old
Classics.
collection of Doc Martens. And then on the right side, he has another massive picture, but this is a top-down view, a bird's eye view of a classic 911 turboed Porsche, which is the Porsche that he rebuilt with CJ. It's his dad's Porsche. So yeah, he's hanging out in there. He has a hammock in the corner that he likes to read into when he's not sitting at the couch. But yeah,
Is it one of
he's
those
just
sitting
hanging out. He's
hammocks?
got-
Make this room to a T.
Dude,
Right,
In
this-
Minecraft.
I would love that. Someone do it. But yeah,
Fan art
so
section.
he, Elliot himself, he has really bright green eyes. He's got fairly fair skin with olive undertones, a few little freckles. He has his hair shaved tight across the sides and the back, and then he has a really tight set of curls on the top, a bunch of really small little curls, very, very curly hair.
It's a tight guy. Tight.
He's a tight guy. He's probably about 5'10", kind of like 5'10 and a half, but at this point it doesn't really matter. He's not 6 foot, so it doesn't really matter.
How much does he weigh in
Oof.
ounces?
I'm gonna say he weighs like in ounces. I have no
ounces.
155 times 16.
No, yeah, pounds and then point what?
I don't know, man. Go away. 155. He's lean but strong. Kind of swimmer build type thing.
Gotta love them Phelps builds.
And then
The long arms.
a very important detail that I made Lydia have to redraw. He has a big old pair of very round silver glasses that he wears all the time. So yeah, he gets up. He probably goes over and brushes his teeth and takes a quick shower. And then
Does
he
his
finds,
morning routine.
Yeah, he goes through his morning routine. He gets
Describe
up
it in
probably
detail.
About, like 6 a.m. So fairly early for a 19-year-old kid. But yeah, he gets up, and right now he's reading the autobiography of why am I forgetting his name? He was the Prime Minister of Britain.
Buddy, I'm not gonna be able to help you there.
The really famous
Bro,
one.
you
Why
have
am I
so
forgetting?
many details. Dang, dude.
Hey, I know that we're memeing on it, but
Mad
I'll let
respect,
you can
no.
take as much time as you
Bro.
want.
Winston
Was it
Churchill,
Winston Churchill?
Yeah. Yes, he's wearing
Oh,
the
Churchill, duh.
Our boy Churchill.
Yeah.
Who had a really awesome life, by the way, in case you haven't.
Yeah,
he's just
Shout out
chilling
Winston.
right now. Beat up.
yeah, you run through all of that. At some point in time, you hear your dad's truck pull into the driveway from wherever he was.
Chevy.
This is still very
Ford,
early
I
in
don't
the
know.
morning. Heads into the kind of like detached garage. You hear him like mess around. You can hear some subtle muttering just because your window was open. It was a cool night, and the window of the garage is as well. Eventually, the garage closes and the front door opens. It's been a couple hours, so it's now like it's now approaching the same time that everyone else is awake. Conveniently, you hear him on the phone downstairs. Like, hey, I'm letting out the mall.
I go and I close the hatch.
Yep. As he finishes those calls, you hear immediate heavy footsteps up the stairs. No knocking, just attempts to open the door.
It's not.
And it just flops open, and he goes, "Hey, Elliot, you know that your dad only has an accent when he's talking to people outside because he thinks that it calms them down and ingratiates them into the society. He knows that it works, as he was mayor for an amount of time, and people listen to him more when he spoke in an accent.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
Hey, Elliot, I need you and the gang to head down to the mall today. There's some readings going on out there. I don't know exactly what they are. But I don't know how Crowbar. Like, all I know is that when the light flashes red, it's probably bad.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Can you try to be... Look, you've known these kids for years now. Can you at least try to make some form of friendly conversation with them? Like just try to befriend anyone, honestly.
Winston Churchill's my friend.
Winston Churchill is dead.
Perfect. I
You
get up
can't
and I
be
get
friends. Elliot, this conversation, it's not Elliot. And you're like, well,
he's like I'm slowly like closing the hatch on him as
he's like Elliot.
No, I got
Also,
it.
when did you
I gotta
reinstall
just-
this?
All
When
right,
did the deadbolt?
I put the
You head back down the stairs.
To those
get
of you who
into
are
your-
confused, the guy who Elliot just talked to is his dad, and he is the same guy
not my
as
dad.
the guy with the accent named Grant,
Yes,
who's been calling
Absolutely.
all the kids.
He
Oh, not
opens
your
the
dad,
hatch
sorry.
and he does say, by the way, before you go, just so you know, this afternoon I'll be meeting up with Devin. I'll be meeting up with him for a late brunch. And then I have a date this evening, so I won't be home tonight. I'll be home, but it'll be really late. Just so I left some food on and you're like still out the door. You know what he's going to say.
Yeah, okay.
He's like,
I
"There's money
go-
on the
Thanks.
I added some to your account. Blah 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 blah.
Yo,
I noticed you were getting low. And you get in your car and head to the mall.
Yeah.
Conveniently, all of you show up remarkably close to the same time. It's crazy how that works, right?
Wild.
I know, it's man.
Wow. It's like this was predestined.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's
God.
crazy. It's like I don't want to go to the effort of having
Say
two
it.
people
Whoa.
talk to each other and then add a third one that
Crazy.
talks for another 20 minutes and then a fourth one who's like, I've been waiting to play this game this whole time. Um,
I do.
Yeah, exactly. Just like Elliot, it's slash DJ, you know.
Sam does arrive.
What if I just didn't include you in this episode until the last 10
That'd probably be
minutes?
fair. That'd probably honestly be fair because I've done that to you a couple times.
You're good, dog.
Sam does arrive with a Casey's black coffee, like from the
Oh,
Casey's
yeah.
gas station.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just spilled over his hand because he was riding his bike with one hand.
It's a dollar.
Yeah, he does
Can I
have
stop
one.
and get some Casey's breakfast pizza too?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The best part is you're going to a food court. So you're like, this is not uncommon. You take
No.
the breakfast pizza into the food court because there's nothing there that's actually worth eating. Just so now, all of you who have lived in Nebraska have seen the mall, so you kind of know how the layout is. The mall is a large, squarish rectangle that has just a walkway that forms a cross in the center, and then a hallway around like one of these sectioned off portions. That allows you to kind of walk in a circle perimeter around the mall. Some of it is cut off. Malls are making a comeback. Not that quickly, though. So you've got some more businesses. Once some new owners took over this mall, they've been putting in some really good work, decreasing the rent, increasing the, there's not as many pipes leaking.
Yeah, fixing all of the water spots
making
and the
some
ceiling
maintenance and
tiles.
stuff, just sprucing up the place, making it look like actually appetizing to live there or work there. But there's still not exactly enough businesses in town to make it full to the brim.
There's been 10 frozen yogurt places that have started and died.
Every single time. It's now but now instead of a frozen yogurt place, it's an embroidery place. It's owned by a different store in the mall.
For those of you who don't know, we're just trashing on our home mall.
Yeah, this is our actual mall. This is how it really works. There is a Top Golf. We're not sure how that happened. It's just a little
Somehow it
subsection of
stays
the
alive.
mall.
That's funny.
It's only open for 2 hours a week.
It's all digital.
Oh yeah.
It is.
So you guys end up in the food court, just as your father said, Sam. That a Quiznos has recently been added to the place where the Subway was. There's a pretzel maker. The Orange Julius has restarted back up. Thank God.
Thank God.
Yeah. Oh man. And surprisingly, most of the middle-aged to older people do still eat at the food court. You are the youngest people there, without a doubt.
Wow. I guess it is summer.
As we all convene at some little table, you grab some chairs because it's a table for two, but you grab an extra 2 chairs. We are going to do our last-minute character building, a staple.
Yes.
Of Between the Rows. This is going to be a lot more similar to season 2, if you'll remember it. Basically, we are going to go in a pattern that I have preordained. And that pattern, we will go around in a circle. I will start, and I will give a character part of the character that they didn't know before, a little tidbit of information. It could be incredibly hilarious. It could be incredibly dangerous and terrifying. It could be completely pointless. Regardless, it is something that they don't know about beforehand. And then once we get around to the end, someone will tell me, in this case,
Elliot.
is that Elliot? Yes. Elliot, you will tell me either a part of the plot that I don't know, some vague factor of the plot that I'm unaware of, or information about the final boss that I don't know, the big bad, what's all really going on around here. Something about the story that I don't know at the time of this recording.
I love the fact that even when I'm not DMing, I still
get to DM, yeah. So I'm going to start with Clara Donnelly. Recently, Clara's dreams, which have always been a little strange, you have your whole mentor situation. Halfway through the dreams with your mentor, they change into you being surrounded by a swamp. And as you're walking through the swamp, you plummet kind of through that like peat moss swamp. And because of those dreams, you have developed hydrophobia. So you are afraid of not small quantities, but large quantities of water. Basically anything larger than a bathtub.
Okay.
And you are terrified to be anywhere near water in that form. That is your new character information. Clara, could you please tell CJ something about his character that he did not know?
For CJ, CJ needs and has reading glasses, but absolutely refuses to wear them, so it's really hard to read anything up close.
Oh, fantastic.
That's
Oh, and
good.
he's farsighted. Nice.
Hold on, I gotta write that down. CJ, can you please tell Sam something about his character that he did not know?
Yes. Oh boy. Oh man.
What you got for me,
I have
buddy?
so many ideas. And okay, so Sam, on his way to the mall today, actually, in the clouds, he thinks he saw a bad omen about the next coming days.
Nice.
Fantastic. Oh man,
Oh,
those
that's
clouds.
not good.
Aaron,
do you want to specify what I saw, or
Oh,
could it just
no,
be
I'll let
vague?
you figure it out, but I will tell
Okay.
you, just not to add on, but because he has said that's just to explain it further, this is not uncommon. You see things in the clouds all the time.
Yes, of course I do.
So,
Of
of
but
course I
specifically bad omens today.
Still concerning.
Um,
Yeah.
All right. Sam, please tell Elliot something about his character that he did not know.
Elliot, you are a big fan ever since you're a kid, but you're still a big fan of this old franchise called Bionicles. And you know the lore very well. And in fact, you know it so well, and you think it's written so well, that you draw a lot of wisdom from events that have occurred within Bionicles. And you use the Bionicles lore to help you make your decisions in real life. And sometimes, when it matters, you will describe a piece of Bionicles lore to the group to help them decide what they must do in tough
I'm
situations.
so excited.
You found the perfect thing. You found this is
Oh my
a
gosh.
better prompt for DJ has never been given.
Listen,
Elliot was already good.
upon all of us.
Elliot was already good. Elliot is now the perfect character for DJ.
You also have a Bionicles poster in your room.
You've completed him.
We're gonna switch. We're gonna switch the Porsche poster to definitely it's like an NBA team poster, but it's with Bionicles.
I'm
Oh
sorry,
my
Elliot. I
God.
need to ask. Has Elliot ever written or posted fan fiction for Bionicles? Like his own theories and fan thoughts and blog posts about Bionicles?
r/Bionicles lore.
See, he built a whole website that detailed
Oh
the
my
lore, and he
Of
runs an
course.
email campaign that people can subscribe to, and then he runs affiliate links to old Bionicles, and that's one of his revenue streams.
Also, I will state
That is
something
so
that
good.
happens in the 2030s. Bionicles make a comeback.
He is a
Elliot is
moderator.
incredibly excited.
He is a Reddit moderator.
Oh yeah,
And a lore keeper of
and,
the fandom.
And you know, Elliot, you're obviously a fan of the classics. They're not doing too bad this time.
Heck yeah, that makes me very happy.
Speaking of Elliot, I am very interested to know what about this story that I have already pre-planned and figured out for you do I have to drastically change to fit your whims?
So, in the last few years, probably the last 5 years or so, there's been a number of incidents within the Homestead Society that are resulting in two things. First and foremost, the very limited number of Homestead Society members seem to be almost being hunted.
Mm-hmm.
And because of this, and because of probably a lack of proper response or taking seriously of this, the Homestead Society is now on the verge of collapse
Oh no.
because of internal affairs within the society.
Why would you do
That's
this to
pretty
us,
good.
DJ?
Unaware to any of us. This is a tight knit.
fantastic.
Why would you do
Oh,
this to
man.
us, DJ?
He's just like, hear me out. The thing that is about this story that no one knew is actually our lives are much more difficult now.
Yeah, thanks, DJ. Thanks, DJ.
Specifically, I'm going to make it. You could have been like, I don't know anything about the final boss, but it has a weakness to slashing damage. But no, you were like, our resources are incredibly limited. You went into the menu select and difficulty select and then put it to hardcore.
You really did,
Yes.
man.
I'm
Because
happy to
this,
help
the
everybody.
I
Homestead
appreciate
Society
it, though.
crumbles.
Oh man. So
Let's destroy the
it's
Homestead
just
Society.
When they were on the verge of losing the Mask of Light to what was his name?
Oh my
Is this a
God.
Bionicles thing?
Is this
it
a
absolutely
I'm
is.
sorry.
I know nothing about Bionicles.
Hey,
so
you look, DJ. You weren't prepared for this. I expect next week when we record this episode, you to have a full lore doc of.
I
You
will.
need
I
to
have
have-
the wiki pulled up. I
you
have
need
the
to
phone
have
number.
you need to have 22 pages of notes ready.
just notes of
The
Bionicles.
freaking
I did it last
Mask
year.
of
You do it this
Light.
year.
Hey,
This
could
is
you
just
could-
like when the Toa went up.
Stop, Aaron. Could you briefly describe the Homestead Society for those?
Makuta. That's what it is.
Yeah.
This is just like when Makuta nearly got the Mask of Light and turned the whole world into his own dominion. of darkness.
The physicality.
I'm so happy.
So, for those of you who haven't watched season 1, the Homestead Society is a group of people who came together way back when in like 1872 or something like that, 76 maybe. Due to the Homestead Act given by President Abraham Lincoln, which was a kind of a farce to create roads and pathways that would form a rune or magic circle of sorts that created the in-between and funneled all of these monstrosities and creatures that stemmed from people's beliefs and traditions into a place where they wouldn't harm or affect people who didn't believe those things, allowing them to people to continue with their cultures without affecting people who may or may not disagree or not believe in or take practice of those traditions. That society existed for a very long time, kind of in secret and kind of dwindling until a certain Bailey Patterson, his grandfather, passed it on to his son and the previous members of the group, which included people like Crowbar and Grant, Bev Winchester, Sawyer Blakely, and oh geez, I swear there was another one.
Oh my gosh! How could you do this?
Yeah.
Jared was
Someone
his name.
still physically stabbed Lydia.
Yeah, all right, yeah, make Lydia upset. I expect tears this season. Tears.
Yeah,
I demand it. I demand it.
I'm
And now,
I'll do my best.
the Homestead Society is kind of a rinky-dink operation in the small town.
Well, yeah,
that-
it was.
protects the material world
Originally,
from
I had
everything.
planned on it expanding, a lot better, and having some additional groups set up in farther reaches of Nebraska, and
It
maybe
could
even
still
spreading
be
out to
that.
other states.
It
But
has
now we're being
And then
denominations.
hunted.
DJ said, "Screw you, you suck. Our life, we suck.
Everyone
Our lives
is
are
going to
hard,
die.
and everything is terrible. Deal with it." So
If
thank
This
you.
is
someone
just
doesn't die
like-
before the season's finale, I haven't done my job. right.
Oh, well, I mean, I couldn't confirm or deny.
This is just like the Mask of Light situation in Bionicles.
Yeah, oh my god, this is
Exactly.
exactly like when Montanui.
This is just like when Montanui was put into
Oh
his
my
new
God.
body and he was sent to a whole other
I'm already
planet.
over it.
But Lydia, we still have like 5 more episodes.
know.
We're not even through episode 1.
Oh gosh, we better move on. Though.
Anyway, all 4 of you show up at the mall. You're sure it has a name. It's the Moonlight Plaza.
Something like
That's right. I pulled deep cut there. Yeah, you pull up to the food courts. You see, I'll say that probably CJ and Clara got there first and pulled up a table, and Elliot and Sam, you kind of walk in together. They're waiting for you at the table. I would like to ask if you now please
sunglasses
roll
off and put my prescription glasses on.
Sam, oh, go ahead.
When you guys walk in, Clara does have like CJ's hand and is doodling on it.
This is not uncommon.
Sam will come up and put his hand on CJ's shoulder and be like, "Hey, CJ, I haven't seen you in so long, man." And he opens up for a hug.
Yeah, CJ will kind of stand up and give him a hug.
Elliot goes and sits down at the table next to them.
And then he'll sit also next to them, which is also next to Clara and CJ, because they were, apart. Yeah. And so he turns to Clara and he says, "Hey, CD, how's that mint plant coming? Is it still surviving?
Yeah, it's
getting enough light.
It's still going. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. That's great to hear. I'm glad to hear that your little plant is doing all good and whatnot."
Yeah.
So we're here because Grant called us all. Why to the mall? This feels kind of weird, right?
Something about one of CJ's dad's instruments being in the red.
Being in the red?
Aaron, do I know any reason as to why we're here?
You know that your dad, who's currently the smith of Smith, the forge master of the Homestead Society, has over the years crafted multiple devices to kind of predict and monitor rifts or breaks and kind of control them. So the way that the in-between works, as it is kind of a drain, we're going to use the concept of a hose. In the past, the way it worked is all of these things would run through the hose, but it was stoppered up at the end. And so eventually holes would start to burst randomly throughout the hose. What the Homestead Society has been doing in the past, 20 to 30 years, has been, first of all, sealing those holes in the hose, and then in order to relieve pressure, making very precise and perfected and purposeful areas where the in-between leaks through in a safe place where no one's going to be walking through the woods and then suddenly stabbed by a murderous red cap or something like that. That's been kind of the goal. So there's definitely an instrument that has, most likely you're thinking that this is the one that is telling that a new rift or emergence has popped up somewhere, and it's telling you that the somewhere in this mall is some problem.
Right. Okay. Well, I guess we just look around a little bit, see if we see anything suspicious, notice anything weird going on. Maybe we could split off in pairs and then meet back up here in a little bit.
Could I have everyone make an Arcana check?
Arcana.
Yummy, yummy.
When you
Arcana.
shot Menards.
Yummy, yummy.
I got a 19.
19.
Got a 12.
12.
I got a 14.
14. How you doing, CJ?
26.
26. Clara, CJ.
Wow.
You two are, first of all, you're always in sync. The things that you remember, you've dealt with a few of these situations in the past. Honestly, they've been doing a pretty good job of maintaining purposeful leaks in the in-between. The few times that you have had to deal with this, the in-between tends to pop up in areas that are not heavily populated. So it's probably not going to be in the middle of the store, in the middle of the Route 21, or in the food court, or in the connected Target. That is the only reason that this mall is still alive. It's probably going to be in the more derelict, non-maintained areas. Between the two of you, you can think of two different locations that it may be. Clara, you know that in that kind of cross-section of the mall, one of the cross-sections has always given you weird vibes. because it's really well lit. It's like you're in the center of the cross section, and then you head this way, and the lights slowly start to dim. There are no stores down there, and then just at the end of that cross section is a single model train set that for some reason is still functional.
This is real. This is in our
This is
mall.
real.
There is you've never seen anyone maintain it. You
Oh my
have no
gosh.
idea who collects the money. Somehow the trains change. Someone has to be doing this. Who owns these trains? There's also a Pizza Ranch real close by, but that's besides the point. CJ, you would know that years ago, probably you were still pretty much a kid at this point in time. Sam, has mentioned this before. You used to have a Herberger's, one of the biggest department stores in the mall, and it closed down. You're not sure how or why. Like, you thought it was doing pretty well, but you know that you could probably get into the Herberger's pretty easily. You're not even sure if the doors are locked. But all department stores that are empty are like the most terrifying places in the world. So those are the two locations that you think of between the two of you.
Okay. Well, I mean, do we want to check out? Did we word vomit this like out loud, or is this something we thought of?
Clara, you think of the train spot immediately. CJ, you think of the Herberger's immediately.
Okay.
That's the information that all of you would know, that the in-between doesn't like super crowded popular places. That's pretty much common knowledge.
Okay.
For you guys, at least.
Well, I suppose it's maybe like the old Herberger's place might be a good option to start.
I was thinking about maybe the train set.
Ooh,
I'll go check out the Herberger's. And I just start walking.
Gosh. Okay, well, we could check out the Herberger's. Also, I think that train set is creepy as...
Who changes
probably
it?
creepiest thing.
Why does it still run?
I don't know. Do the trains change?
Oh,
Every
yeah,
time?
they switch out the trains all the time.
I wasn't asking you. I was asking Clara.
I just really wanted. I just want everyone
you just
to
really
know.
want to.
There's like new ones all the time.
Who does this?
Yeah,
I never
don't
see
know.
anybody using it.
Does this mall even have janitors? No, we still walking.
Yeah, so I'm heading to a Herberger's. Who's following me?
I think
I
we
feel
all
like
are.
Who's going where?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Herberger's is real close to the train set, right?
I mean, I feel like we would all need to stick together.
Yeah, Elliot
so...
probably shouldn't go alone.
Yeah, let's follow him. I mean, he's gonna do what he wants. It'd be better if we were with him instead of him getting in trouble.
Fantastic. Yeah, you can kind of catch the train set on the way to the Herberger's. You walk. It's not exactly a slow time of day for the mall. There's no time of day that it's a busy time of day for the mall. But hey, things are picking up. But there are the standard mall walkers, like older generations and people just, hustling around the mall real quick. A lap around the mall through the Target and then back to the center is a mile. So, you head past the jewelers and the Rue 21 and all the skate shop and stuff like that. And slowly the lights begin to dim. You're not sure why.
I mean, I think that's a good sign. I mean, not a good sign, but a sign that we're probably in the right place.
But lit.
Speaking of signs,
Drag my
I
fingers
saw
hard.
something in the clouds on the way here. You know how that happens.
What
It was
did you
this
see?
big ominous dark thing. I think it was a bad omen. I see those sometimes,
I mutter under my breath, nobody cares about your bad omens, as I'm dragging my fingers along the tail.
Yeah,
Not
the
enough for you to
metal-
hear
Oh,
for you to hear me,
I
but
know,
I
edgy.
I know.
You're a big fan of Evanescence in 2033, and man, the edge is dripping off of you. As though lit by a spotlight, almost the only remaining light. There is a little wooden case, maybe 4-ish feet long by maybe 2.5 feet wide, which on top of it has a glass case that has a very well-made and well-maintained 2 rail lines. One of them that goes atop another. The lower one goes through a tunnel with little trees and houses and the train cars. Some of them are Thomas the Tank Engine train cars. Just it seems like a very well-loved train set in the middle of this mall. And just a little ways past it are the metal gates that cover the Herbergers. You know that in order to make the trains run, it's 50 cents per train. Or you can just put in $1 to make both trains run at the same time.
I'll put in $1.
Absolutely. The 2 little trains start whirring, their little gears and wheels whir along the tracks, and one of them heads through the tunnel. Another one just wheels along the time. It's an incredibly affordable cost for the amount of time that these trains run.
And it's pretty entertaining.
Oh yeah, it's practically mesmerizing.
You know, now that we're up
so
close.
fast.
Yeah, they're going so fast.
They're
Now
really
that we're close,
fast.
this train set's kind of cool.
I'm
I
keeping
always thought it
my
was weird,
Cute.
but
very much peeled for any activity around us as we're making a lot of noise to try and
Yeah,
attract.
everyone's just like,
Is the
these
like
trains.
oh, trains.
there's like the metal gate thingy?
The gate
Yes,
for the,
there's
for
the
Yeah,
gates that
Herbergers.
like cover the old
Mhm.
Herberger's doors.
I want to walk over to those just to see if they are locked.
Fantastic. Yes, they are. But like anyone who knows even a little bit of work can.
I like from my bag that I brought. I just pull out my thieves' tools and I just unlock the door.
Yeah.
Unlock the
Please
gate.
make a.
You basically just put a key
thieves
in and
tool
lock it.
check.
Okay.
Do I happen to notice anything while the trains are going or while CJ's
Can you please make a perception check?
Give it to now when I roll an 8 though. 13.
13. Yeah, these trains, they're still going. Like, it's been like 2 minutes. It's
don't
very
really want
affordable
to.
time for the amount of train time.
Well, little do you know, that's an Amtrak 113. That's a nice model train right there.
It is.
What does that mean?
I definitely didn't just look
It turns out that Elliot is the one who
I
owns this
maintained the train. Yes,
He's like-
exactly.
he's like, I can't tell anyone this.
This is my embarrassing secret.
This is my real hobby. Everyone
Yeah.
thinks that it's the like bionicle stuff, but man, is it toy model trains. What did you get there, CJ? That'll be Dex plus proficiency if you're proficient in these tools.
Right. 19.
19. Oh yeah, you like these were locked, but in the same way that like someone would like barely turn the key and you just kind of jostle the doorknob a
Mhm.
little. There isn't a doorknob, but that's how easy it is to unlock this.
Right. Yeah.
You are able to. Wow, that was fast. You are able to kind of jimmy the lock a little bit and slide open the gate enough that you could enter into this department store.
Mm-hmm. Okay. After I do that, I'll just kind of turn towards everyone else. It's like, do we want to check out the Herbergers, or do we just want to wait at the train?
You
I mean,
broke
we-
into the
I-
Herbergers already?
He spent
mean-
$1 on it. We might as well like finish.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah, I
I
might as
go
well
with-
finish the trains.
Now it's like I don't want to look at these trains anymore.
Just let them go. We'll wait.
Right.
Yeah.
I explored the Herbergers by myself.
Can all
I'll
of
make
you
sure
if
that
there's
he
a-
doesn't. I'll make sure he doesn't get himself killed.
Okay,
You guys-
okay,
hey,
we'll
you guys
watch
stay
anything
here
here.
and watch the
Watch the
trains.
trains.
Yes.
Go in.
Those of you watching
I
the trains,
fist
could you
bump
please make
Clara.
a perception check?
Yes. Wait, watching
Wait.
trains? Is that what you said?
Yeah, whoever's watching the trains, could you please make
Oh,
a
bro,
perception check?
I get advantage on this.
Wait, what's the track?
For watching trains.
Sorry.
And thank
Perception.
goodness, because
I'm
I
watching
rolled
trains.
a 19 and a 1, so that will be a
Good.
29 in total.
Perception check, Sam.
Ooh, that's like a 22.
Oh, fantastic. Both of you notice that the lower one that goes through the tunnel has working train lights.
It has rain trains.
Yeah, and
I know, I
it even
just
has a little
noticed.
lantern on the caboose that swings
They're
back
flashing.
and forth.
The
And
caboose
lights
has
up.
a little
It's
swinging
adorable.
lantern.
Like,
How
it's
did
a
they
very
make it so
detailed
tiny?
set.
When it
They
goes
made it
through the
so
tunnel, you
tiny
can like
and it
see it
worked.
reflect on the inside.
Yeah,
It's
you
just so
also notice
detailed.
that for some reason the additional cars on the Thomas the Tank Engine one, you never notice, but they do have faces, like
They're
the
all
like the
looking
cargo
at
trains.
each other.
I feel like that
That,
kind of
not
breaks
the engines,
illusion,
like just
but
the actual train
Like-
look
cars
how
have
detailed
faces.
the like grass is and
I
stuff.
don't
and,
like
the
their
little
faces.
trees.
They're kind of disturbing.
It breaks the illusion,
Like
honestly.
they're in a Mamba line. What?
I don't think they want to be that close to each other.
If this isn't a Bionicles reference, I don't want to hear it.
Got
So
it.
anyway, eventually, after almost like
After
3
we-
minutes, the trains finally come to a stop, and you're like, "Wow, that was
Okay.
good money spent. Thanks, Elliot."
Yeah, for $1.
I'm assuming you all head into the
Yeah.
Herbergers. Because
Yeah.
turns out, guys, sometimes it's not an Eldritch horror thing. Sometimes there's just a weird, welly maintained
DJ
train
was
set in
telling
the
me that.
middle of the mall.
Clara is trying to keep quiet and not make sure anybody who passes by the hallway doesn't.
Oh,
when
yeah.
they walk in, she's gonna kind of like reclose it, kind of.
No one,
Yeah,
look.
and Sam is like, man, this is crazy.
Actually,
It's
as,
like echoing.
as you do that, Clara, could you make? Actually, you already made a 29 perception check. After you're done looking at these trains, you realize that you knew that there was this hallway here, that this cross section worked. You knew about the train set. For the life of you, you can't remember actually ever looking down it. And as you kind of look back, you notice that no one looks down this hallway. Like you're sure that people know that it's here.
Mhm.
And maybe it's just that there's no reason to look down the hallway, but no one even bears it a passing glance. You don't even think that they notice it in their peripherals.
Interesting.
We're so bright now.
Had to look up something on my thing. Oh.
I think I'd like Sam to. Now, I don't know what in particular. He might bring out some kind of
Check space.
incense or something. I don't know if
Yes.
it would be incense.
Oh, yeah.
Some sort of sensor. He wants to do something to help kind of cloak them or like appease whatever aggression there might be around them
Yeah,
from the
can you
in-between,
make
whatever. Something like that.
I will allow you to either make both of them with your wisdom. You can either make a
Mhm.
religion check or you can make a persuasion check with your wisdom.
As he's
Okay.
doing it, can I just like cast invisibility on Sam?
Yes, you can absolutely cast
I'm
invisibility.
not actually going to, but I thought that would be really
You
funny.
could.
Okay,
I
I
will stop
got
you.
I have those spell slots.
a 13.
13. All right. You're
I did
still
religion,
pretty
by
new to
the way.
this, and you're still never like you know that it does something, but you're not exactly sure what it is that you do that does something.
Hmm.
So you
Something
really
is better than nothing.
hope that it's working. Your connection with the in between, it's hard to tell sometimes whether or not anything is working the way that you think that it should.
It kind of
Um,
initiates whatever happens.
Yeah. So you all,
Burning
the four of
incense.
you, enter into this old department store. If any of you have ever been in an empty, abandoned apartment store, or department store, not apartment store, you can't buy apartments. The rent is still high in 2033.
I believe it.
Always.
Oh man, housing market crash still hasn't happened. It's taken forever.
Oh my God, no way.
So a lot of department stores just leave loads of stuff just in the department store. There are all sorts of clothing racks and stands that have been just kind of piled and jumbled to the side. There are full and partial mannequins standing or piled in a corner. Some of them even still have merchandise on them that they were like, well, the store's closed, don't have anything to do with this, can't send it back. Everything is covered with either plastic, dust, or both. It is strangely bright, even though the lights are off, just because everything is white. Like the floors are that white kind of tile. all of the clothing racks and the stands are like a dusty white. So even with just I assume that you guys pull out like your phone's camera, like flashlights and stuff.
Mhm.
Even with the small amount of light from those, it actually lights up a great deal of the department store. As I said, this is one of the biggest department stores in the mall, or at least it was. There is a lot of space to cover here. How would you all like to go about it?
Elliot's kind of looking around, and in genuine confusion, he's looking at all this stuff and he goes, "This is all junk. Why would anybody want any of this?"
I mean, nobody wanted it even when it was open. I think we should maybe start in the, like, weird, darker corners of the mall, you know? Like, where all the stuff is. Maybe there's something going on over there.
CJ, you got the doohickey, the thing that I'm like half blinding you as I'm like shaking my light in your eyes.
Hey, whoa,
sorry.
what is that?
You got the sensor.
Offhand, you do not have a device specifically meant for that. You might be able to rig something with a tinkerer's check.
Okay, yeah. I just
Can I do like a vibe check around the room?
I was actually going to say, those of you who wish, and if you can come up with a way to kind of figure out how your character would try to find this, like a rift to the in-between, feel free to tell me. Clara, for you, it would probably be... Well, actually, you tell me. Sam, it would probably be like a religion check or something for you as well. CJ, it's Tinkerer's Tools. Clara, what would you like to use to try to detect these vibes? Do you want it to be insight? Do you want it to be nature or something? Like, what do you want?
Could we go Arcana with it?
Absolutely. You can go Arcana. You can also just make a flat investigation check to just actually look at things with your eyes.
Investigation's way better. Let's do that one.
Yeah, go for it.
I got a 22, by the way.
Before anyone else goes, I will say, I will assume that if you are searching out these things, that you will be splitting up.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's fine for the time
Way
being.
more exciting. This is a
will-
horror.
I will be mind linked with CJ.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
say
absolutely.
we're definitely moving at least in pairs. Like probably
Yes.
like Ellie and CJ
Okay.
and Sam and Clara.
I'll have it be that you split the store in half, so you're still separated on the halves, but like you're within eye distance of the other person. And then the two on the other side are out of distance of the halves.
And
Yeah.
I'd like to clarify, this is a very large department store, right? Like, it's
Yeah,
pretty
it's big.
huge. Yeah.
It's
okay.
almost
not
twice the
small.
size of the Target. So
Yes, it's very big. Just pointing that out.
Um,
Okay, well, I got a roll.
I got a
yeah.
roll too.
I'll start with Clara because you are the one who's in the top left for me. Clara, what did you get?
I got a 27.
27 for Clara. CJ, what did you get?
22.
22. Elliot, did you make a check?
Yes. I'm gonna use athletics and just take a quick lap of our half of the store.
Yeah, just
Which I
absolutely.
got a 26 for.
26. Sam, how you doing?
I also got a 22.
Oh my God, what is up
We are
with you
very good
people
at our
today?
jobs.
We
I'm
were
very
ready.
religious.
We came
So,
ready.
I rolled high.
Things happen for everyone involved in this
Oh,
situation. I'm just going to start with Clara. I assume so. Clara and CJ, you two are mind linked. Clara, you're like, hey CJ, let's do this thing. So are you two on the same side of the mall, or because you're mind linked, are you?
We're
on the
mind linked,
opposite
so we're
sides?
going to be on the
Opposite.
opposite.
Okay, so you two
It's
are the
Elliot
farthest
and
away from each
CJ
other.
and Clara and Sam.
I love it.
Mhm.
Clara, you are walking on the. What is in front of my mic? What is going on here? What is happening?
a
Um,
little bug likes your life.
yeah, what's
We are
going
not
on
having
here?
any technical difficulties.
Of course not. Not Paper Dungeon. No.
Oh, you're ruining the moment.
You are walking on the farthest side. The farthest side of the Herbergers would have been the women's and children's departments. Split like children's closest to the mall doors, women's closest to the exit doors. So you're kind of strolling through. You see a lot of like these would have been dated in 2007 clothes.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh.
like dresses and stuff that you're like, I don't think that this was ever popular. I don't know.
Nobody's worn these in 40 years.
I don't think anyone has ever worn these.
Oh, actually, although
like,
depending, Aaron, because fashion comes back.
yeah, there is a chance.
But
Actually,
if it never
yeah, could you
existed in the
roll-
first place,
could
it
you
can't
roll
come
just
back,
a flat
you know?
d20 for me?
10.
As a natural trendsetter, you think that there is a slight possibility that with a little bit of sprucing up, you could make these look average.
Alright.
Average. You
Yeah,
can make them
like-
look
To
okay.
be fair, you've never been in the like popular in crowd of
Like,
clothing
honestly,
and stuff.
she's probably looking at this and is like, oh, is this what's in now?
I almost like it better because it's not the most popular thing. So you're kind of like you get distracted for a little a little bit, like looking at, and you're like, oh, if I just trim a little here, you know, I could do something with this. The air starts to grow cold. You hear in the back of your mind,
Did you just do something?
shoot, is
Oh,
my
there we
mic
go.
not picking
No,
it?
we heard a hiss. We heard an ass.
Okay,
Is
good.
Yeah.
Whispers. Dang you, Zoom.
That's what the whisper is.
You rolled like a 29 on your perception or your investigation.
Yeah, no, there's a 27 on my
Oh, 27.
investigation.
What's your passive perception?
My passive perception is 20.
Oh, that's fantastic. You are able to make out some words of these whispers, which is a very off and on for you. You hear the word clay, potter, boon, and kneeled.
Like yield, like he knelt
like
down, or a yield, like
Kneeled, as in the past tense of kneeled.
yeah. Okay.
Of kneeled. Past tense of kneeled is still kneeled.
Neil's such a
Bug
nice guy.
is being a thing.
Love-
Not you recently listened to Neil Diamond.
No,
Not
no,
that
no, no,
kneeled.
no.
Not like we're annealing metal, so it becomes softer.
No.
Claire's gonna
Not like hitting a
try-
nail with a
Need you.
hammer.
Sam.
Sam, you're going to have to speak up. Before you can
Yeah.
you please make a charisma save?
Absolutely, and I wanna point
Not you,
out
Sam.
I
I'm
have
talking to Clara.
what? Oh,
Make that charisma save.
oh.
Don't you
No
know?
advantage on
Always
this one.
with the party.
Or
4.
Nice.
Excellent.
One bad roll.
Sam, you hear to your left a little bit away. Sam, I'll get to you in a moment.
Oh, okay. Cliffhanger.
Ooh,
What's
next.
gonna happen?
Let's go over
Wait, I want to
to
clarify. I have grabbed a sparkly scarf that I had seen and put it on.
Oh,
because
yeah,
I thought it was a little
It
goofy
looks-
and funny. I was gonna
it
make
looks
Claire laugh, but we'll see.
exactly as the word that would have been used whenever this scarf was popular. It looks absolutely fetch.
Oh my gosh. Quit
All
trying to
right.
make fetch happen. Okay? It's never gonna happen.
Hey, Elliot.
Oh, what's up? Hey.
Hey, Elliot. You are walking to the right of the center. This would be the perfume section. It doesn't smell great. But to be fair, perfume is some of the stuff that they were able to sell because even bad smelling perfume, someone will buy. So there's just a few. It's mainly just like on probably the last day before they closed, someone broke a bottle of perfume and they're like, we close tomorrow. We're not going to clean this up. And so it is just sunk deep into the tile and the like little bit of carpet that is here, the old rug behind the cashier that just was never taken.
I'd like to point out, I'd very much be trying to be aware of where I think that is coming from and trying to definitely not step in that.
Oh, absolutely. And with your check, you know exactly where it's coming from, and you're like, I'm going to take a wide berth.
Yeah.
Because of said wide berth,
No.
you step a little closer to where CJ is. And you start to also hear something. You're not sure quite what it is, but you feel the weight on your back grow heavier. You're at the current form that it is. Your fanny pack that you have, which is your normal blade.
Yeah.
Even so, just the fact that they are swords, you feel as though the weight of a blade on your back increases. The whispers in your mind grow a little heavier, a little darker. What is your passive perception?
My passive perception, that's 10 plus your perception bonus, 15.
Oh, 15. Can you make an insight check for me?
Ooh, I'm good at that. That's a natural 20 for a total of 25.
Oh, man. You don't even... look, you can't hear the word as well. It is one word that is said to you. And you may not be able to fully understand what it says. You don't need to hear it. You can feel it in your bones, in the presence of that weight, in that sound of silence that surrounds you in this empty department store. You know it is saying hunger.
I would like to immediately hold my sword or turn my fanny pack into a sword.
Yes. It becomes a very stout great sword. Mm-hmm. Not like comically like this isn't like Final Fantasy. It's like how a greatsword would actually be. Yeah. I do have a question. Is it a Zweihander or is it a claymore?
This would be a claymore.
Oh, fantastic!
Those fanny packs can hold way more than they look like they can. Let me tell you.
Oh, you know it. So you prepare your weapon. Obviously, this is not. You know where this voice is coming from. Mm-hmm. But you prepare yourself for the worst. You do think that this desire of hunger is coming from your right, where you would presume CJ is.
Or is it CJ? Am I just seeing?
No. We'll get to that in a little moment. Hey, Sam. Mm-hmm. You're walking along to the left of the center of the store, which would be the jewelry department. There is obviously nothing left here because that would just be bad to leave like jewelry, even like gaudy jewelry is still expensive.
Right. There's a lot of pillars and counters and things.
This is also where a lot of the mannequins ended up being kind of thrown to because they were like, "There's clearly no merchandise here. We're just gonna throw
you get to deal with the mannequins."
Oh yeah, which is where you grabbed that sparkly like scarf off of one of the mannequins. This mannequin specifically was missing the upper half of its head and its right arm. It also didn't have any legs. It was just a torso. So it's a little creepy. Like mannequins in general are already not groovy. So you're a little weirded out, a little on edge. And as you're walking through, you hear that Sam, and then the sound of something falling, maybe hitting the ground a little quick.
Like metal, like clanging?
Oh no, like a person.
Like a thud. Okay.
Yeah, like a thud, like a body, like a
I
the bodies hit the floor.
Yeah, instantly. Right. I looked to where Clara was. How far away am I? Like, are we talking 40 feet? Like the span of kind of that
probably around a movement and a half. So around 30 to 50.
Okay, well, I will duck down and start weaving my way through the little like shelving units, and make my way towards her with my eyes vigilant. I'm trying to find Clara.
And you made a religion check, correct?
I did make a religion check.
What is your passive perception?
Like 16.
Oh, 16, that's good enough. With the religion check that you made and the situation that you happen to be in, as you hear Sam and that thud of a body, the connection that you have with the in-between, you can almost feel it tighten its grip in the core of your body. Mm-hmm. and you can sense things moving in the air around you. You can't see them. You're not even sure if they're actually in this world or if your soul is being moved between the reality and the in-between, if you're kind of in that half area. And there are things in the in-between in this geographic location. Or if they are actually in reality and simply hiding in that border ethereal. It's hard to tell. Right. But there are so things moving around, and it's hard to tell if they have your best interest, if they don't have your best interest, what exactly their deal is. They're not your concern at the moment. Right. You are aware of their presence, but they're not your concern. You run over. I assume. Real quick. Continue? Yes.
Real quick, I would like to just speak to the in-between, to whatever's listening, and I'd like to speak in deep speech.
Okay, go for it.
Because that is something they speak. And I'd just like to say, very calmly, we are not a threat, we are simply passing through. And I'm just saying that very calmly to whatever might be listening.
Can you make either a religion, performance, or persuasion check?
Okay, I'm gonna go with religion, because that's my best. Oh, okay. That's a 17.
17. All right, you repeat this almost as like a mantra.
Yes.
Just a overphrase, like just over and over and over to kind of gather yourself and hopefully ward off whatever creatures are around you. You think that it does have some effect, as though they recognize who you are, and are aware of your presence. You're not sure if it changes their attitudes, but they may be less likely to intervene with whatever you are going to do in the future.
Exactly what I was trying to do. And I'm looking for Clara to specify.
Yes. You are trained to keep track of your exit buddy, so to speak, so you know exactly where Clara was.
Yes.
You run over to...
in the women's section, next to the babies section.
Next to the weird dresses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You rush over to where Clara is. You find her easily. Clara, you are on the ground, splayed out, almost like arced back upward, like your stomach towards the sky, arced back, and not like hands on the ground about to scuttle or anything, but just completely rigid, splayed out on the ground, babbling over and over.
Oh gosh.
Sam, you hear the words. Between the rows of alleyways there lies the setting sun. By fire shall rise, and by fire shall fall the beast of 71. Over and over and over, you hear this once again repeated almost as a mantra.
This is not good. This is not good. I instantly start snapping like this. And what that tells CJ and Elliot, they both know what it means. It means something is wrong. And we need their assistance.
Snaps from across the room.
Well, they're very effective.
It's an empty
snaps.
Yes.
You're trained in the art of snapping.
Yes. I just came up with that, by the way. And
not a hey Elliot, come here. But
no, that's way too clear. Things get real jazzy.
He has to snap in Morse code.
I don't want to alarm anything around us. So by making a noise, it's less likely to actually cause any. I should
also mention, Clara's eyes are completely open. They aren't rolled back in her head, but you cannot see pupil or iris. They're just a solid, misty, bluish white. Like, completely devoid of substance. They do not even look like eyes anymore. And you can see that same color is actually leaching into the veins and spreading down her face towards her cheeks.
Aaron?
So you snap a warning signal.
Yes, hey, I have a plan. Yeah, it's the heartbeat.
Oh yeah,
that's
fantastic.
What it is.
It slows down as you play.
Sure.
I would like to. Heartbeat is going faster. It's more urgent, you know.
I know there's stuff going on with CJ and Elliot. We can go over there if you'd like, but I would like.
Yeah, what would you like to do before anything else goes down?
First set of rules is stay calm. Right? The in-between is misunderstood.
Turn them on
and
their
oftentimes sides. They do what they do, and you need to understand that they sometimes don't mean harm. I kneel
Claw it
next
in her
to
mouth so she doesn't
I
bite
kneel
her
next to
tongue.
Clara, and I just speak very calmly, because it's spoken common, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I speak very calmly. I say, can I speak to whatever this is? Is what I say.
Between the rows of alleyways there lies the setting
Oh.
sun. By fire shall rise and by fire shall fall the beast of 71. Just over
Okay.
and over and over.
I will begin to carry Clara and just say to myself, we have to get out of here.
Fantastic.
Where
So
the
you
link isn't
touch-
as strong.
you touch
And I
Clara?
start. I do. I try to pick her up.
Oh, fantastic. You touch Clara. Immediately, the body
Oh
goes
my-
slack.
What?
And the body falls to the floor, limp, no longer arched in that way. The eyes, Clara's eyes are still that misty gray, and the head rolls over to look directly at you.
You.
Oh,
no! Wait. Okay.
Um,
Okay. Can I pick her up, or is this like instant?
Oh,
I'm assuming.
well, she's gonna say something real quick.
Oh, okay. This could be good, right?
So you hear her say, "The children of death shall roam the world, spreading strife and woe."
Write that down.
Can you
Death
say it one more time?
shall roam.
The
Oh
children
no,
of
not this. How about you say it all one time, do your thing, and then we'll go back through and write it down. How's that?
Okay.
Because I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
No, this is literally the only line that you hear.
Oh, that's it. Oh, okay.
The children of death shall roam the world, spreading strife and woe.
Sam continues to pick Claire up and says,
As-
very nice.
As the words leave her mouth, so too does a kind of fog-like mist. And
I
you
hold my
see
breath.
That like grayish blue drain from her eyes, so they're just rolled back in her head, normal white eyes. And she takes the first like full breath of air that she's taken.
Mm-hmm.
Clara, you regain consciousness. Currently Sam is like just like above you, like
Trying to
holding
pick you up.
You don't remember anything of what just happened. You're just on the ground now, holding the hem of a kind of weird looking dress.
What happened when?
Something spoke to us, or spoke to me through you from the in-between. We need to get out of here where the rift isn't as strong. And I'm trying to like help you up and carry you to where CJ
Yeah.
and Elliot is.
You start to help Clara up. Both of you pause momentarily as you see a bright flare of light come from the far end of the store.
Oh,
We're going to go
gosh.
back maybe just a couple minutes in time. Hey there, CJ.
Hi.
Hey there.
How's it going?
How's it going?
And gave us
You.
a solid like 10 minutes of things being normal, and then immediately went into demon possession.
Hey, CJ. So you are on the far right side of the store.
Uh-huh.
You are walking along. This is the men's section and the the knick-knack section where they're like, I don't know, here's our like backpacks.
Mm-hmm.
You're walking through there. This part is less cluttered with random desks and stuff. It's actually relatively empty. This is also where the restrooms would be.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're walking along, you keep an eye out for Elliot every once in a while. You see him deviate from the designated path to avoid something.
Uh-huh. While I'm walking, I will pull out of my bag my Steel Defender monkey named Vincent.
Oh, fantastic.
And I'll just on his back there's a little silver button that kind of sticks out of the back of his spine. I just press that into place, and he just light and runes spread out around his back as he then starts to move around and comes to life, and I just kind of pull him up and put him
And
on
I'm
my
sorry,
shoulder.
what was the name of this monkey? This is very important.
Vincent.
Vincent. So Vincent has developed a weird quirk. You're not sure. You've tried to work out the programming of this little animatronic monkey,
Uh-huh.
but every time that you start it up, he does pretend like he has symbol and clap his hands,
Oh.
and kind of totter around a little bit, like one of the weird clapping symbol
Is he
monkeys.
wearing a little
Uh-huh.
vest? Please tell me he's wearing a little vest.
Does he have a vest, CJ?
He does. He actually he doesn't have a vest, but he does have a top hat.
Oh, fantastic.
little monkey. bro,
And so then he
top hat.
finishes his little dance and tips his hat off.
Nice.
What would you like Vincent to do? Is he just
He
going to
is
run
bald.
around, keep an eye and stuff out and stuff?
Yeah, I was gonna say. For now, I will just tell him to basically keep equal distance between myself and Elliot,
Oh, fantastic.
and just to make sure that if anything happens to either of us, to come help.
Okay, great. So you are patrolling. Could I also ask you what your passive perception is?
Oh, it's not great.
That's okay. I didn't ask if it was good.
My passive perception is an 11.
Okay. So, you are just walking,
I do
examining things, keeping an eye out.
I do have a very like ramshackled like sensor thing that
Oh
apparently
yeah, you're
I,
like
put together.
Oh
I
yeah,
was like,
you totally rigged together like a little like the little spinny bit,
yeah.
like a little satellite dish almost, and it just and you're just following along, and then it dings, and you're like,
It's like Jimmy
"Oh,
Neutron.
It dings. The little dingy thing, it dings. You say to
I
no
didn't- I
one in
wait,
particular.
I forgot. I
Wait,
put
I
that
can
in
do
there.
something. Ready?
It
Nice.
dings. You're welcome.
I used my
You're
sound
welcome,
cord.
Grant. I have given you this opportunity. Real quick, I just want to double check. I hate to break the immersion. Drew, how we doing on time? I just want to make sure that I'm right here. Are we like 20 minutes out?
About yeah.
Oh, I'm so good at my job. So CJ, your little dingy thing dings,
Mhm.
and you notice that it is coming off to your right. There's a disturbance off to the right, which is weird because you're on the farthest right part of the store,
Mhm.
except for the bathrooms.
The bathrooms. Yep, it's always
Yes.
the bathrooms.
Because let me tell you, if there is anything creepier than an abandoned department store, it is an abandoned department store bathroom.
Mhm.
So you hold up it basically functions as an add-on to your phone, like your little dingy thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you hold up your little antenna and your light to kind of look towards the bathroom stalls and head off that way.
They're up to USB-D, by the way.
Oh yeah, the USB-D 7 lightning charger. It also fully functions as an Ethernet cable. It's
Well,
great.
the beautiful thing about it is
Revolutionary.
it's actually kind of like a USB stick that you stick in the bottom of your phone, and then it wirelessly charges your phone
Oh yeah,
across
absolutely.
the room, and then you can take it
Using
out. But
power crystals that you collect on the paths of the islands.
exactly.
You hear whooping off, and you're like, oh
Yes, I'm so glad you knew the reference.
shoot.
Mine
Back to
definitely
spooky
has,
bathroom time.
Yeah,
Cahoki mask on it.
fantastic. Back to
Is that a
sadness and
Bionicles
despair.
reference?
You walk towards the restroom.
Uh-huh.
It is dead silent. Nothing but the sound of your boots hitting. I assume you wear boots. I don't know why. Hitting the tile, almost like laminate floor. There is no wind or air conditioning in here. It's just dead, settled dust. And then you do hear something for a moment, which is strange because you know this sound. You heard it very recently. It sounds like small miniature toy trains start to run again, just off in the background of your mind. Just little along this little plastic track. You also start to get a little tinge of red in your vision off to the sides. It slowly begins to fold in on your perception of the world. You are distracted from that red as you kind of like are holding your head, as you hear in your mental connection to Clara. You hear those words, a rhyme, a poem. Between the rows of alleyways there lies the setting sun. By fire shall rise and by fire shall fall. The beast of 71 over and over in an almost drone. It splits into your mind over and over. You know that Clara is currently being taken over by something. You can feel it. You know this sense before. As you turn, the red begins to fully encompass your vision, and you see the door to one of the restrooms swing open. A burning red hand grips around the side. Fire and smoke begins to billow out of the bathroom stalls as it looks like maybe a 6-foot-tall humanoid. It has a physical form, but that form is entirely encompassed and overshadowed by a blazing inferno, as though they've been doused in kerosene and lit ablaze. And they make slow, purposeful, molten steps towards you. Can you please make a wisdom saving throw?
I would love nothing more, DM.
I was half expecting it to be Thomas the Tank Engine.
Okay. Okay, wisdom saving throw. And just because I can do this, I'm going to use a flash of genius to add my intelligence bonus to my saving throw.
You're just Jimmy Neutron, dude.
So that is a 19.
Brain blast.
19.
Yeah.
That is not enough.
Really?
You are paralyzed by this
CJ,
visage before you. It takes those long, laborious steps. Each step burning an imprint into the floor. That's what really terrifies you. You've seen these before. They have clouded your mind, stepped into your vision, haunted your dreams. But as you look behind them, the floor is still burnt.
Lovely.
These have only ever appeared in your vision. But this thing, you can smell the laminate melting beneath its footsteps. It gets close to you in your mind. That same poem repeated over and over in Clara's voice. It reaches out a hand to rest it on your chest. There is a pause in Clara's voice. And you hear that same sentence. The children of death shall roam the world, spreading strife and woe. And then out of the burgeoning maw of this flaming creature, the second line is spoken.
I love it.
But the pair shall be split and set adrift, caught in the undertow. The hand rests upon your shoulder, and the world becomes fire.
Okay, but the pair should be split and what?
And set adrift, caught in the undertow.
And does this burn when he touches him?
I mean, that's hard to know. There is a lot of fire. In fact, the right side of the department store basically bursts into flame.
What? The whole thing?
Yes. We are going to go to Clara, Elliot, Sam. What are you doing as an inferno explodes on the right side of the store?
I noticed that.
I'd like to say, for the record, Vincent comes to my aid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I'll get to Vincent. All right.
Can I see CJ?
You know where CJ is. You know where he would be. He was heading towards the restrooms last. Can you make a perception check for me?
I know what I do.
Let's find 21.
I know what I do.
21. It takes you a second. You're looking into the blaze, and it was pitch dark for like the entire time that you're in here, so it's hard to see. But you can see a little robotic monkey running towards, and you look, and you're like, "That's Vincent. What is he running towards?" And you look, and you see two figures engulfed in flame. One of them, you know to be where CJ was last standing. Clara, Sam, what are you doing? I'm assuming, Elliot, you run towards the scene of the action.
Yeah, I have a specific thing that I'll do, but I'll do that in a second.
Okay. Sam, Clara.
So I'll help Clara up first. So I'm assuming Clara can move. She's fine.
Clara, you are within full functioning of your body and soul, all in the right place.
Okay, can we see Elliot yet?
Make a perception check.
Clara is going to immediately start trying to head towards it, and is going to, with the mind link, try to talk to CJ. Does she still have the mind link?
Your mind link is still connected.
Okay.
Did she hear the second line?
You have not heard the second line.
Yeah, Claire's just going to say mentally to CJ, "Please tell me that is not where you are," as she's running that direction.
Fantastic.
I don't think I can respond, right,
Sam, how are you doing?
I got a 16 on that perception check to find Elliot.
This is
Do
a
I hear
lot
the monkey,
easier.
maybe?
You are farther away from the fire, so it's easier for your eyes to adjust slowly. And Elliot strikes a very the only moving thing against the flame other than a tiny little glint of metal.
I will cast a spell.
Yeah, go for it.
I will cast, if I can, I will cast Create or Destroy Water.
Okay.
And I will put 10 gallons of clean water falling as rain in a 30-foot cube. So I'll just do it behind Elliot, trying to
I will absolutely allow
the
you
flames.
to hit the flames and also Elliot. That might protect him from some of the fire damage just by making sure that he's wet.
That would be great.
Yeah. So Elliot, you are wet, which somewhere deep in the back of your mind, you're like, I hate this guy.
I can't believe that he's actually doing something useful, but this kind of sucks.
These clothes were
and
designed.
as I do it, as I cast this, you can see dark tears that are a darker hue of blue falling from my eyes as I cast this spell.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It seems as if he's almost getting his power from another place that isn't quite the material realm.
But it isn't quite anywhere else either. Yes, two dark blue tear stains begin to roll down the sides of your face. Clara, Sam, you run. CJ, could you really quick, can you make a constitution check?
Am I within 10 feet of him?
No, not yet.
Are you sure it's not a Constitution saving throw?
No. I need a constitution check.
I want to break free.
Not again.
Now we're seeing
Not this year, too.
It's good to know that we're starting early. Because I had to go through 3 episodes to get that out of you last time.
I fail.
You fail? What's the number?
What was the
I
number?
rolled a 3 on die, so...
Total?
Total is at 5.
Awesome. The voice that returns to you, Clara, is not one voice, but many. It is 1,000 screaming in anguish and pain. It's the sound of tormented souls, punished and burning forevermore in an eternal hellscape.
DM, I
That
don't
is the
suppose
voice
I
of
have
the
an action, do I?
Oh, sure. What would you want to do with it if you did?
If I did, I would like to cast a spell.
What kind of spell?
Heroism on myself.
I will absolutely allow you to, in some animalistic part of your brain, cast a spell. This would be a great time. Sam, you cast a spell. Elliot, Clara, are there any preparatory spells that you would like to cast?
Oh, preparatory spells?
I don't have any spells to do that.
I mean...
No, I'm okay. I mean, I have 2, but I only get to use them once, and they're not particularly helpful in this
In
scenario.
the meantime, Clara, could you roll a D100 for me?
Oh god, yeah, I can.
Gosh.
Well, that's
another
going-
thing.
I am slowly approaching the blazing inferno being.
Which
And
one?
I have
both the beans are blazing infernos right now.
The one that's supposed to be on fire.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my channel divinity to take on my conquering presence.
Ooh, fantastic.
So I set my eyes dark and low as I slowly approach, just dragging my blade, trying to be as intimidating as possible, and I will need it to make a wisdom saving throw.
Excellent.
Threatening the fire, dude. I love
it will
this.
do that. I will do that.
Yeah.
What did you get on that D100, Clara?
86.
86.
86.
Oh, fantastic. You, as you're running over there, you notice clutched in your hand still, perhaps a remnant of whatever possessed you, a thin green ribbon that appears to be designed to have once been worn as a choker.
Okay.
And this will be a token of the departed.
Okay.
Okay, so you just keep that in mind. I don't entirely remember the things that you can do, but you got one of those.
Okay.
For those of you who don't know, the rest of us are just trying to complete the game. Lydia's trying to complete it 100% and collect all the items.
Oh yeah,
That's
absolutely.
exactly what's happening.
Lydia's going to get to the end of this campaign and going to be in the most optimized clothing, which is going to be like a bespoke top hat, lightning sunglasses, a bright pink flamingo jacket, just the most optimal items.
I really hope that she finds all of these items.
She'll have a... Gosh, what's the main character in Car's name?
Lightning
You
McQueen.
know,
Lightning
the red
McQueen?
car. Lightning McQueen. She'll have a Lightning McQueen temporary tattoo that grants her
Oh yeah, and
like an
a
additional walking
Casio
speed.
calculator watch
Good job.
Nice.
that adds that takes away 5 charisma, but adds like 100 to strength.
Are there any magical bionicle items that you might get, Elliot?
That's a great question. I'm gonna say I doubt it. But
Big Milky mask.
as you all run over to see CJ standing amidst these roiling flames, the flames that are actually surrounding his body are beginning to die off. CJ, you are regaining some control over your body and mind, still filled with those screams and painful, anguished cries. Yes,
I was
CJ?
I was going to ask, if I do get my spell off, it makes me immune to being frightened.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Okay,
I
that was the main reason that I was trying to cast that spell. So
I'm on fire, but at least I'm not afraid.
You all step up to where CJ is preparing and casting spells. Elliot, you dig deep into your soul to re-find that word hunger and emanate it forcefully from yourself. It actually quells the flames in a radius around you as it devours the heat itself. Clara, you step up there holding tight this green ribbon that you found in your hand, a token of the departed. Sam, you've tear stains, literally staining. It's going to take a long time to get these off your skin.
And it's in my sweater too.
Almost like oil or ink that is leaking out of your eyes, this deep blue. CJ, you are surrounded by flame. Your little steel defender runs up to you, ready to just do its best. Behind this creature, crawling up from the flames, smaller, not quite bipedal, not quite quadrupedal. You're not sure, you can't make out their true form, but beings crafted out of physical form but engulfed in flame, immolated, begin to crawl from out behind the bathroom, underneath corners, out of the flames themselves. As they all collectively open their mouth to speak, I'm going to end tonight's session.
I knew
We
it.
don't get
you
what
piece
they
of shit.
said.
It's
I want to know what they say.
so. If you want to know what they say, like Grant does, and if you want to be there to see the first combat of Between the Rows, Sins of the Father, and see what the deal is with these kids, you're going to have to show up next week on Wednesday, same time as it was today. And it's been a blast. I hope that all of my players had fun this first episode.
Talk about a zero.
1000%.
Oh man, we pick up quick. First it's, hey, look at my cute dad, and now it's, oh god, Satan.
Oh my gosh, that was fantastic. Now,
Oh no,
hey, this is
CJ's
going to be
on
6
fire.
episodes, right? 6 episodes. It's a
Yes, it
shorter
will be
series.
6 episodes.
Share it with your friends. It's super, super, super easy to listen to, and we hope you watch and listen to the next episode.
Yep.
Hit that subscribe button, smash that like, drop a comment below.
And if you want to understand what we're talking about in some of these episodes, the previous 2 seasons, Between the Rows, the original, and Between the Rows, 1871, are on YouTube and potentially on Spotify and other podcasts. I'm not sure about 1871, but we'll work on that. It might be up by this point in time. One of the two. We'll figure it out. So feel free to watch those. They were a blast. They're dated. Oh, man. They were a different time. But yeah, and you can kind of see what's all going on here. It's been a blast. I don't think I have a whole lot else to say.
This is about exactly 2 hours, so congratulations, DM. That was very well timed.
I kind of nailed it.
Nice.
I'm not gonna lie. I was keeping track.
Ever.
Shout out Thomas the Tank Engine and Winston Churchill for making this episode possible.
Yes.
Imagine Thomas the Tank Engine, but with
Shout out
Winston
to that
Churchill's
actual
face.
real like
There you
train
go.
set in the mall. Shout out to whoever's maintaining that. The only thing that I have left to say is good luck and Godspeed, Dungeoneers. Have a spooky week, and we'll see you next time. It's been a blast.
Happy Between the Rows.
I'm gonna make my hand blur.